So,
Book 2, though.
the second book we will discuss... Yeah, go ahead.
Of the Few.
Strength of the Few, the much anticipated sequel to The Will of the Many.
Did you get the colored pages for the second one? Okay.
Duh.
I didn't know. Dude, I'm telling you, I went to
They're
Barnes...
barely colored, though.
I went to like
colored.
5 Barnes & Nobles, and none of them had them colored.
But they're not really colored. They're just
like they're purpley. Grayish. Purplish.
Grayish purple.
They match the cover.
Okay. First,
I was
congrats
worried.
to him for getting this book out as quickly as he did. Right? It was like 2 years, maybe 2.5 years,
We could
somewhere in
tell.
there. I'm not going to say that.
No, I did like it. I did all the...
This is, again, praise for the first book is so high that I immediately read the second book. Like, immediately.
And pretty quickly.
So, very, very quickly. So, if you've read the first book, you understand.
Pretty quickly.
Without spoilers. This isn't spoiling it, because first book. We start the second book, and the game has changed a little bit, and we're now doing a book from 3 different viewpoints. And those viewpoints are this in World 1.
The orphans. The sequel is
this
called
in World 1.
The Orphans.
This in Egyptian world. And this in Viking world.
Yeah, this in Dune.
It's Egyptian world. But
yeah, it is Egyptian world. Viz and Yu-Gi-Oh!
And
The Orphan and Yu-Gi-Oh! Sorry.
How do we we'll go non-spoiler for a little bit here.
Yeah, this is a tougher one to do non-spoiler with.
This book we're following 3 different viewpoints instead of the one. And obviously that leads to certain narration styles. And in the main world, though, we have progressed a little bit where... No, I think he actually wakes up in the hospital at the university still. And now we're chatting with the principalis, and he's not happy with Amissa because she stabbed the shit out of him.
Right.
And...
Spoiler for the
but
first
we've graduated. We're in the second book. Do not listen. Do not listen.
Yeah.
You can't. Yeah.
You can't.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, you can't. Even just saying viewpoints is tough. That's why it's this is the first book I've ever read that's impossible to talk about.
3 viewpoints, same orphan.
Yeah, tough.
That's like 2 girls, 1 cup.
And same results too. It's just a bunch of shit. But where was I? Oh, so in this book, obviously Viz is now Dormitor, and he's now moving into his career with the government. Well, with government, because he chooses government over military.
Government. Yep.
Yeah, and I think that's basically all I can do non-spoiler towards the plot. Is that fair? I don't know what else you do about the plot. I can still talk my feelings on it. I'm very down for that.
Give me your spoiler-free feelings.
The story is still good.
The story is still good. There's interest there.
There are
A recap of that would be tasty.
Very bad pacing issues in this book. And it's not surprising that this is the case. Because we have a character, we have this one who is in a main world that we just spent a whole book building up. Now we have this 2 and 3 on new worlds, whose plots have to progress pretty quickly, but I'm also supposed to care about those worlds, and I don't, right? Because I've cared about World 1 for a whole book now, and I continue to care more about it throughout the second book. But the other 2 worlds, again, he's trying to save them all. I don't care about those worlds because he just showed up in them. Okay? And he spends like a page and a half for each of world building them. And it just doesn't do it for me in that I don't care about those 2 worlds. Now, I think he does the Viking world better than the other, and everybody disagrees with me, which is funny. But the reason I think the Viking world is better is because it's more simple. It's more simplistic, right? And
I think the Viking world is better.
okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Especially by the end, like as the story goes. I don't know if it starts the
I think
best,
it's
but
the better from the beginning.
it's
And
fulfilling.
we can talk more
I
once we
think
get the
it's
spoilers
Yeah, I
about
think
why
it's the
it's better.
most interesting. I think
So,
it's doing the most interesting
but
stuff.
going again towards this pacing issue is that, you know, we are in the main world, Res, and things are moving at a certain, and it's funny because I'm like saying two different things that kind of go against each other, but it's how I felt and it's what I experienced, that in Rest things are moving kind of quickly and the plot is very developed and we're like in the thick of it, you know. But in these other worlds, it really has to take time to get to where it needs to, where you start to feel like you're solving something or start to feel like the plot's really developing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really a problem throughout the first half of the book because you don't care about those worlds as you're reading. You just want to get back to World 1. That was my experience. And I think that problem, I don't know that it gets solved for me for the Egyptian world at any point. Actually, I never liked or cared about the Egyptian world or the
Okay.
people in it. The Viking world, I actually really enjoy. He built characters in it that matter, and yeah, I think the Viking world is actually good. But this is all to say, it was very ambitious what he went for. It didn't land perfectly for me, but I think it has a chance in book 3 to be really good.
That
Yeah.
I agree. I think the things that I dislike about this book, he's proven he's better than. He just needs to apply things that he did in the first book into the ideas he has that he put into the second and make it I think the third book should be a large
I think
book.
the third
I
book
think it
is going
should
to
be
be much better.
big. And I think there's a way
Well, he
to
has
do
already
it.
said it's going to be 4 now.
Right. Sure, but I still think the third book should be huge. Just because I don't know, I just feel like if he wanted to develop those worlds a little better. So for me personally, because I texted you when I first got the book,
Non-spoilies.
non-spoilies, I was really into it at the start because it picked up right at that other
Exact
world
moment. The
where he
literal
was
exact moment.
with Ulquiscor's brother in the desert world. So at the beginning of the book, I was most into the desert world. Like they were controlling dead people. It just like it seemed like what I was waiting for to happen in the first book with this like show me what it's like in one of these alternate dimensions. I didn't even know the alternate dimension was there until it was there. Now you're putting me into it. So I was pretty into that. So it kicks off like that. And I was like, ooh, I like this. And then it jumps to the Viking world. And I was like, oh, okay, I got to do it again. Okay, this is... So right off the bat with the Viking world, I was a little off kilter because I was like, oh, I just adapted to this other world. Now I got to adapt to this world. And then we go back to the original world. I'm like, okay. That's when I figured out what was happening, like how this book was going to be told. And I was very grateful for the symbol of whatever world, whatever perspective of the orphan you were going to get. So I don't know. It was a cool way to kick off the book compared to the first book for me. It felt more unique. It felt a little more original than, because like the first book,
It's
my biggest complaint at the
original.
time, very
That's a
derivative.
Yeah.
So this opening seemed new and fresh, and I really like that. The thing is, though, as the book went on, and I said this to you before, there are for me there are portions of this book where I care about each orphan's perspective a little more and a little less. They bob and weave. They bob and
I
weave.
don't know.
Sometimes I like one more, and then I end up not liking it
I
as
don't know
much.
how
But
you
I
ever care about the Egyptian one. So God
that's the
bless
thing.
you.
The Egyptian one just sank till the end for me. Honestly,
There's
it
nothing.
became the
Sorry,
second he
finish your
gets picked
spoiler
up.
free, so I can spoily.
Yeah, we gotta just get out of these. We gotta get out of this.
Let's get into spoilers. Okay, let me say this, people, before we go into spoilers. Pre-spoilers. Very good book, still, in my opinion. Not very good. It's good. It's a good book. I think it is a book
Progresses the story.
It progresses the story appropriately and sets us up for a good book 3, in my opinion. And I think that makes it a good book. Is it as exciting and as the first book? No, not at all. Are there more mistakes in this book? Yes. But did he do something original that is fun? Yeah. Yeah. Do I still have all the faith in the world in him to write a good book 3? Yeah. Yeah. So now we're going to get into spoilers.
Yes.
Okay, the Egyptian world sucks because there's no characters and there's no character development. And to make me try to care about the guy he saves and to try to make me care about this assassin and her daughter is ridiculous. I care not about them at all. They all could have got shot at any point. And by the way, when they do die, I don't care. Okay. I had to say that. Now we can talk more.
No, yeah. I mean,
I'm 100% right. And also, sorry. The
you're
Viking world,
85% right.
the Viking world is good. And it's good right away for me because when he goes, so at the very beginning, so let's not say right away, but the very beginning, I agree, I didn't really care that much when you're like, oh, he's in this town and he gets swept up by a druid. What's that mean? I don't know. But once he starts
I
living
was
with the
interested though.
family, I'm not saying it was bad, but I didn't like the stuff
Sure.
with the family in the cottage. I actually loved it. I thought that was really good because it gave me characters and built characters and a little world that I liked and were interesting and developed them a little bit and developed his relationship with them. You know, like we don't have a relationship with Amos and the assassin and the daughter. That's not really a relationship. People have a real relationship with those people. And when he's dragged away from them, you care, right? Yeah. So that's why the Viking world is better. Go on.
And the Viking, so like I saw it more like until you called it the Viking world to me, I didn't really think about it like that. I saw this book written in like just 3 different types of genres almost. Like it was a fantasy world that
Yeah.
Orphan whatever goes to. One of the ones without an arm. Because you know they have these different legions of people. It's kind of like Knights of the Round Table ish. It seemed more Wheel of Timey, but then like the desert world, even though it's Egyptian, it still feels very like futuristic ish. And then the other one is Roman, so it's I don't know. I
hear you.
saw
Call
it
it
as
whatever you
like
want.
the more fantasy world
Yeah.
one. But it's the best story of you get a Viz that kind of like finally heals in that world too. Like he finds something in that world that he's just like, I can let go of my past entirely. Where the other 2 versions of him, see the problem with this book, and I've heard other people say it, is the 3 orphans they don't develop individually in different ways. Like a lot of people want to see
So
different versions. Like if we're gonna have
this
different
is
versions
my
of Viz,
I hear that complaint. I at least
I hope we get more of it.
but I see it.
The
I do think
branching.
Viking World and World 1, I think they are a little bit different. It's the Egyptian world that I'm like, this is a waste of time because he isn't different
Yeah,
at
they
all. But
gotta
they could
really
still
pick
be
that up.
different.
They gotta really do something. James, has to do something pretty impressive because, like, that one gets kind of cut off. Like, where the other 2 kind of have a conclusion in a way,
Yeah.
that one doesn't. That one's
Well,
just like
and I think it's crazy
he
that
killed the
what's
bad guy.
Alcasor's brother's name? Caror,
Sea Roar.
C. Oh, sure, Roar.
That's how the guy says it.
He, I believe you. I'm saying sure because that's ridiculous. Like the fact that you never see him again in that book is pretty surprising to me, and that's the problem with the Egyptian world. The best part of the Egyptian world is the brother,
Right,
and then he's
yes.
just gone.
Agreed.
He's
Yeah,
just
and you're
gone.
right. He doesn't ever come back.
No, and it's really
I mean,
bad.
he comes back in a different world. That was
Hey,
a cool moment.
great
We're in
moment. Do you
spoilers.
know why? Because the Viking world's infinitely better.
That was the first time in that
the
book in a
rules,
lot of pages that I actually like. Whoa,
the
whoa.
rules and systems of the Egyptian world are so lame and boring and not easy to follow, and I just didn't care. I'm telling you, At times I was like, I'm ready to skim the Egyptian world, and that's bad. But I loved Viking World, and I still love Main World. I think they're very good. Main World's fun. Now, let's get into more complaints.
Okay.
I cannot believe Emissa's just not in this book, dude. She is one of the main
Very
characters
little.
of book
Dude,
one.
same with the Principalis, though. What's his name? Viridius?
Yes.
He's not in it enough either.
But Viridius, while he's in book
I don't think
one,
any of those characters like them are in it very much.
I think
That's the problem with this book being cut into 3, Jake.
I think
nobody
Aiden-
feels like they're there.
But if we're in Res, and we're talking characters, because we can't talk about the other 2 worlds, if we're talking characters in Res that are in the book an appropriate amount, it is Aiden and Aqua. Okay? Because Aqua's in that book a lot. Okay? Alcasor, who is a very main part of the first book, is like not in this book.
Not much.
Okay? But for him, it kind of makes sense. The Emissa, I don't understand. And I think my problem with it is it feels like he purposely just didn't write it because he didn't want to resolve the plot of her and Vis. Like, that's why.
Because it could be easily resolved if they just did.
Well, that's where he kind of cops out a little bit, because what I was waiting for is them to be at odds with one another. Because that's probably what's going to happen in the next book, because she's still in military. Her father's in military. He's against
we get
the
to
military.
Revolution real quick in this.
He's in
book,
governance.
too.
Now he wants to overthrow it all. But in the middle there, he kind of takes the cheap way out and just being like, yeah, they're okay. But you see Emissa literally 4 times in the whole book, and 2 of them are in the first 100 pages. She's just not in the book, and it's a problem for a character that is very impactful in the first book. The Principalis, Viridius, to me, he is in the first book, yes. I don't know that maybe it's just a personal thing. He is very important, but he's not part of that group. He's not part of that group. He's like an outsider, where Emissa is not. And I understand someone would comment and be like, well, now she's an outsider because of this. Dude, she needed to be in that book more, and it was not good that she was not in that book more. That was not good for me. I think even if you just dragged out, maybe they're going back and forth, just a couple scenes of it would have helped. Yeah. Yeah. I can do more character complaints. You want to do more?
Mm-hmm.
I hate that the dad is back. I hated it. It makes sense later.
Right. But once they presented it, I was like, okay, this is how he's alive.
But still,
because he's not. It goes along with the rules of the world. We know that dead people can be.
I always feel like, the whole thing is like, my parents are dead. This is the reason I am the way I am. My parents are dead. This is so fucked up. This happened.
He's an orphan.
That's
his
so
whole
important.
thing. That's his name.
This is so vital to the basis of the story.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's alive, and he's just in the woods in this other world, and I don't know. I didn't need it. I think the character is better left without it. But this is one of the points where,
they
moving
kill him
forward,
back off pretty quick.
I know, but that makes it even worse for me that it's like, why even bring him in, man? It just felt like a way to be like, hey, here's a way to shock you. He's alive. That's how I read it, and I think that's lame. But moving forward, this is a way at least that this Vis is different, right? Where he had this kind of resolution with his parents. But
yeah.
But then going into this more, I absolutely hate. I like the end of this book. I absolutely hate. Now the rest of his family's alive. Oh, and Callidius is also alive. It's like, hey man, I actually really respected that you had a good character, that you had the balls to eliminate from the story, because it progressed the story really well. It progressed the story really well. It progressed Vis, our main character, really well to have him killed off. And just to be like, he's back! And his family! You're like, oh, he just has everything! He's got all the powers that nobody else has, and his family! It's a lot for me, that part. That I don't agree that, like, you've built this whole character off of his loss, and you just said, well, I'll take away his loss and just bring them all back.
He can make zombies now. Yeah.
That's just not
Except
for me.
not with
But they're
Equa,
not
because her
zombies.
brains got blown out.
But they're not zombies because they're like they still function, right? They still can talk. They're not like
Yeah, no,
they
they're like Naruto zombies. They're like reanimated jutsu zombies. There's a lot of similarities between this and Naruto.
so
I got
that
something I'm
is
going
a
to tell you about Naruto later too.
that is a very big complaint for me. And I think it's a very valid complaint, that ending, to bring those characters back. That is something I'm not looking forward to.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. I just don't know. By the end of another book, at least at the end of the first book, they were like, "Here's kind of where we're going with this." At the end of this book, it was just like, "All right, I guess we'll just see what happens
Well,
next."
where they have to be going is the guy who is running. What is the revolutionary group's name? Assidious. He is the bad guy. That is
Oh,
where we're heading.
yeah, not the
Assidious is
gangs.
trying to end everything.
Or not,
That is
or
where
is
we're
he the
heading.
good guy?
No, he is not the good guy. He is trying to end
He
everything.
he said something along the lines of like,
Bet you
"One day
whatever you
we'll be
want.
laughing about this, man." When
Yeah, I bet you whatever you want that he is not the good guy because it's too typically set up. And I would respect it if he is a good guy, I'll respect it. To me, it's too classically set up that like, hey, where the book is written such that you're like on Ossidious's side. I think that's his name. When he kills
I can't
the
remember.
9 military people,
cool scene,
but you're great scene. But
great scene.
You're
They're
so
still
on
great
his-
scenes.
The book. I like the book. I like the book. I don't
It's
like
a very
bringing
Revenge of the
characters.
Sith. You know what I mean? I love Revenge of the Sith. But as a film, it's like, this could have been better. But there are great scenes. There
I
are great
like the
scenes.
book a lot, man.
I
and
like the
I'm
book too.
excited
I
for
think
the
I
next
told you the
one.
other day, I might have liked the second one more than the first.
I did not, but
For some
what is
reasons,
cl-
I don't
what is
agree
very-
with it myself.
what is
but
very classically happening is you agreed with Assidious in that scene, right? But you're not supposed to, right? 'Cause he's killing people, and Vis doesn't really like that we're killing people, you know? And it's very classically setting up that it's like, well, of course you should have known Assidious was a bad guy. He's murdering people in cold blood, and no matter what, that's not okay.
and he has the ability to travel between the dimensions. What's that about?
uh,
At like will. No pun
I'm just
intended.
gonna keep ripping this book that I do like. Because let me state again, I really love the story of this book series. This magic system is, and I'm
Bananas.
trying to swear less on this podcast, this magic system is a fucking mess. It is a mess in the first book, and by the second book, it has reached a level where the building blocks that needed to be there in the first book, you know, that tower's kind of going, but it's like my retaining wall, bud. It's going down. And in the second book, it completely falls off. Example, in Res, he has new powers, and you don't, like, for me, I was like, oh, didn't exactly, like, he's imbuing, like, I understand that he could steal will, that you couldn't do that before.
Adoption.
I understood that. But, like, when he's doing essentially the Olympics, you know, he's doing an NFL draft combine, he's like, the way he is like talking about being able to lift the boulders, I'm like, I thought you could do this kind of stuff already. I didn't know you needed new powers to kind of do certain things in this. And I understood it later better, but by not having a solid foundation of your limits of your magic system, the expansion of the magic system from the Egyptian world specifically, it doesn't do anything for me. I think the Viking expansion of it isn't as bad, but the Egyptian expansion of it, it's part of the reason I hate that world, is that it's not very clear of what he can't do, and his abilities. And at a point, instead of being like, oh, it makes sense, you just go, oh, sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
I agree.
Sure. So there's parts of the
Sure.
book where you're supposed to be excited about what he's able to do, and instead I'm just like, sure, whatever, sure. Yeah. Viking world rocks, Egypt world sucks, rest is still good. Characters, I wish we could have talked more about Amissa. I would agree with Viridius and Alcastor as well, as characters that, but Viridius makes more sense to me logically as to like why he's talking to Viridius less. Alcastor makes more sense to me as to why he's talking to him less. And Amissa, people would say, well, she's in military, that's why he's talking. Bro, he talks to all his other friends plenty. He could have talked to her. It's weird that she's not involved. Literally, like, repeatedly, they're like, Aiden and, the one who was ranked 1 in the class in the first book for a period of time.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Aqua, they're all
Idris?
together. Huh?
Idris or something like that?
No.
One of them's Iroh, and then the other one's...
Eero. Yeah. Again, there's 2 of them. One dies. Okay, great scene. Should I talk good scenes real quick
Yeah.
that I loved?
Yes.
Okay, let's talk great scenes. Great scenes, because I
think we're about to agree on a great scene, but what were you just about to say?
When the guys, what is his freak? Indol is the good one. Indol is the good one, and he's cool. I like Indol. I really loved, flashback to the first book, something we should have talked about in the first one, when he figures out that Vis is from Seuss, when he figures out Vis is from Seuss,
when he finds out the orphan is sus.
He might be by his lack of care for Emissa in the second book. But
well, the only competition got her brains splattered all over the wall, so
well, that's the scene, bro. That scene.
Oh, that's what you're about to tell me?
Rocked. Yeah, I think it's Eero is the bad one.
Yeah.
Is that his name?
Iroh.
I don't want to call him Iroh because I think of, yeah.
Yeah, his dad just fucking kills her.
That was good.
I was pretty. I'll tell you what. That once again, it had scenes where I sat.
He'll probably be back in the 4th book.
I don't know. I don't think you can bring. I think you need the corpse.
Oh, who cares, dude? Who cares? Just bring them all back.
You don't know. See, I think a lot of the gripes I have with this book really could, like, if this was a completed series and I could read the other 2 and I'd have a perspective.
True. There's a good chance I'll look back and
he could build on, he could fix all these things really in another book. But for what I have right now, like I said, as I read it, as the book went on, I cared about it less. And then it just kind of bobbed and weaved. Like, it just had moments. When he goes in the Viking world to the castle or the city that's under the water that he goes and, like, does all that shit, that was fucking cool.
That was awesome. Dude.
We didn't cut away from it. We got, like, the whole story of it.
Him coming out of there, getting taken, getting stabbed in the gut, saved by his dad. But then coming out and the arm is reattached to him. Dude, that's awesome. And the whole idea that in the Viking world, you get what you need. You're given what you need from that place. And what he needed was the arm, dude. So I think the Viking world really rocked.
Moments. Yes.
Yes, the Viking world was really good. The ending of the Viking world was the best ending of the 3. The Viking world's really good. The Egyptian world.
I'm liking the Viking world.
Wow. Cut that.
No, will not.
The Egyptian world has none of that, and I can't believe it took me. I was a little mean to Scott because he likes the Viking world, or he likes the Egyptian world the best, and I'm like, well, you just objectively have horrible taste. That's why. Like, obviously, you like it the best because it sucks ass. Like, because the Egyptian world is just like, fast-paced and awesome.
To me, it started strong, but it fucking
world
died.
Building, and it's very boring.
It fucking dove into one of those watery acid pits.
Who cares? Who cares about the assassin? Who cares about Amos, dude? Who cares? Come on. I don't care. And then I'm supposed to be impressed when he gets this flail and stuff. I didn't even like that.
I did like to see when he came back when he just busted into the city and started killing people.
Of course, he just comes. The city was. He and Karer had to fucking work for months and months and months of how to get in. The second time, he just goes, "Bop, I'm in. Get out of here, man." Ugh, it sucked. The Egyptian world
very
sucks.
fast paced. Yeah.
This book is amazing. Otherwise, because I really do like Rest, and I like the Viking world. The Viking world for me from beginning to end is actually good. The whole way through. Do you know why? Because it's a story unto itself. In part because he doesn't know another world exists for most of it, but it's, hey, I'm on the run and I'm learning about this world. Now I'm living with people and changing my perspective on life and I'm finding new appreciation for things too. Now I'm having this internal conflict because I'm going to military camp and I have to learn to be a soldier, but I kind of want that behind me. But wait a second, I actually love these people, and these characters are real people that have personalities that you like, right? That it all builds towards something. And in Egypt, you're just like, whoa, I hit stuff. And that's what Scott likes. And he won't listen to this, but I wish he would, because it sucked. And there's no argument for
I
me.
did like that scene, but I agree with
when
you.
he bashes in?
Because at that point I was like ready for anything to happen
Yeah,
in
because
the Egypt
Egyptian
world.
world, you're just
I
like,
was
God,
like,
can
give
something
us something
actually
cool.
happen?
And
But,
I thought that was neat.
Everything that happens there, like the drones, the people, I don't care. And I think he could have made it better. I think, I don't know, but man, I didn't care. But James, listen to me, James. If you hear this is so important. I'm upset and I'm yelling and I sound petulant, James. But the reason I sound petulant is because I care, because I love your book series. Okay, James? Please understand that. We would love to talk to you because I need you to know I love Viking World and I love Ress. Okay? I love them. And I love I'm not going to learn Lucerian and Obetuan. Listen,
Obitium and
James,
Lucium.
that's what he says. I love you as a writer. I think you're really good. I think this was a slight mistake for you, but it's because you know what I mean? You aim for the moon and reach the stars. Okay, James? We love you. We like this book a lot. It's just the Egyptian world is not for us. For me specifically, quite a bit. But the Viking world was so good. I'm very impressed by that.
And the only thing each of them all have, even though the Viking world is so good, and everything you've even just said, they still feel lacking. Every story feels a little lacking because it's split into three.
But that is where, to me, the next book can fix that.
Sure.
It can't fix it with the Egyptian world. I actually believe that at this point, I think the Egyptian world is like... But maybe that's the idea, right? So I will say this for him. Maybe the idea for him with the Egyptian world is the next portion of it is going to be where it really is really, really exciting and entertaining. And that would make sense as if you think of like the possibilities.
Yeah.
But again, as you said, and I think it's a really good point by you, that if we had the third book right now, we probably feel much differently about
And it could go the other way.
It's a great point. Yeah.
Could make it worse.
Yes. But I have faith in you, James. When you hear this, James, please understand. We are massive fans, and we're upset because we love it. And this guy's tongue is orange. Like, why would you listen to him anyway?
that sugar-free sponsor of ours.
Yeah, I'm really excited for book 3, man.
Day one purchase for me. I will be.
He's
got me. I just wish I liked the second one as much as I did when I started it.
The
Colosseum, the fucking what did you like the scene where they did the will battle, but like not a Colosseum, but they did the chariot race.
Chariot race was
Chariot race was pretty dope. Yeah, that's
chariot
a great
race was awesome.
That was the end of Act 1, and that's a great way to end it.
Chariot race was awesome. I more than you, I genuinely loved every part of the Viking world. I actually loved every part of it. I think it was, for what he had to do with the space and the time, I think it was almost perfect. I think it's really good, man. I think it's really excellent. So that's my summary of Viking World is truly, I liked him learning, like, it's okay that he's missing an arm and that he has to learn to deal with that. And I'm usually not that guy. I don't really care about that. I really loved it. I thought it was good. I liked him learning these lessons of, like, he's being knocked down. He's got to get back up. I loved him, slowly developing these friendships, right? And, like, just respect for people.
And possibly
I
more than
loved
friendships.
The scene. I'm very conflicted on that because he has to be with...
One of him has to be with a miss.
I don't know how it's going to go, so I'm trying not to put judgment on it.
I think they'll all come back together by the end. So I'm
just trying to talk about scenes I really like in the Viking War. So then, I love the scene where they fight, I don't know his real name, but I call him Gibraltar, when they fight his men.
I don't even know who you're talking about.
Gander Corfin or something, whatever the guy's name is. Galkavar, yeah, Gibraltar. What do you name a guy? Galkavar! Galkavar! His name's going to be called Gibraltar. The Strait of Gibraltar. It's a very common in Jeopardy answer, the Strait of Gibraltar. Okay, so, the scene where they fight those men and Vis kills somebody and that, like, really integrates them more into the group, that's also good, man. I think the Viking world's great. And then, obviously, the end scenes of the Viking world are amazing.
Yeah.
Egypt world, for me, I really
Stinker.
mean this. I really mean this. From the time that Alcasor's brother is gone, has not a single scene that I like. Like that I was like, oh. I mean, really, I can't think of one because even
Dude,
the
that whole
flail,
dancing thing, I was like, what the
bro,
fuck
the
is the point
dancing
of
thing.
this?
I texted Scott and I was like, hey, this is the worst thing I've ever read in my life. What the fuck are we doing? Like, yeah, really bad. Like, what, like, bad. And I think it was trying to be humorous or whatever, but the problem is that world sucked so bad that it was too late. And
It's too
James,
dry. It's dry,
I can't
dry
say this
humor.
enough. Can't say this enough, James. We're fans. I mean it. Res, is there any like amazing scenes we've missed from Res? I'm trying to
Probably.
think.
Probably. I mean, I like that bit where he's like, it's after he kills all those guys and the revolution kind of kicks off the Civil War, but like he's kind of like Batman out there.
Oh,
That was interesting.
I love
Interesting.
I love that he's walking around with a mask of metal and an arm of metal and he's
Yeah.
using them like shooting them around. I think that's very cool.
Yeah.
I'm not a
Interesting.
fan of the wolf stuff, actually.
Oh yeah, the wolf, his wolf. Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not a fan of the wolf stuff. That's why I'm not talking about
Overpowered
it.
wolf.
I can't. It's like his family's back and he's all powerful and he has a wolf. And it's like, okay.
And even if the wolf dies, he's gonna bring it back to life.
And the wolf got stabbed in the head or whatever. So
Yeah,
I
I
could
don't
do
even
without
know
the.
if it.
We didn't. I could do without the wolf. As a totality,
Diago.
yeah. But what other big scenes, man? I'm blanking.
It's because they. I like the scene when what's the maid? Not the maid. Elkie scores like the girl.
Yeah, I like
When
him.
she
What is his?
snaps, like when they're at the
It's a
when
he, bro.
no no
The
no
guy
no
who
no
gives him tea.
no
Oh,
not him.
Lanista.
Yes, Lannister. Thank you.
Oh, good scene. Good scene. See,
When
thank you.
when she like snaps when
Yes.
he's like seeding, and
Yes.
I was pretty in. I was like, what is going on
Yes.
here? Like,
Yes, yes,
and they're
yes,
saying the
yes, yes,
same
yes, yes,
zombie
yes,
shit
yes.
that the people.
Yes. And we talked about when
The
Aqua
first act is
dies.
solid. The first
We
act of
talked
this
about
book was where I was into it the
we
most.
talked about like when Aqua dies, that scene. But leading into that scene is also amazing. Like him going and getting Lannister and Alcasaur and leaving
Yeah,
what's her face there.
yeah,
I think that's an awesome scene
that's
too. I
pretty
really
fun.
liked it.
Yeah. I almost
So
forgot about that.
God, what I know, I forget. And of course, like the scene where they go and kill the
It's all happening
military
very
guys
fast
is
too.
yes,
It's not like you already said, the pacing in this
it's
book is
just not the best.
it
But
all starts happening, and you're like by the
God,
time a
what
civil war is
happens?
going on, I'm almost like, did I miss
Here's
something?
a question: what happens in Act 2 in Res?
What do you mean?
Like, what happens in Act 2 in Res? I can't remember anything that happens in the middle of that book. In that,
I mean, in Act 2, that's where he gets taken into the like where Res Viz gets taken to the other world for a little bit, and they kill the people in the.
that's Act 3, no?
No, it's Act 2. I'm almost
Okay,
certain.
I liked him going back and forth between worlds. I thought that was neat. I liked
Yeah,
that. I
there's
liked
cool
every time
concepts.
he
There's a
did
lot
meet
of
with
good
Viridius.
concepts.
You know what? You have convinced
The
me to like this
execution
book
isn't
more.
perfect. Yeah,
You convinced me to like this book more, and I already liked it because I'm very confident
really.
that book 3 will take these points. And I already felt that way, but now I'm seeing the vision even more of how book 3 is really going to take these and smash it. I really think so, man. It sucks, man. I almost wish I didn't read these yet because I'm actually really excited for book 3.
Yeah, it'll be nice to see. I mean, I'm glad he announced the title not that long ago.
I'm
But
also glad that we
interesting
are
to
doing
see.
4. I'm all for, like, given the state of everything in this series right now and where it is, I would
We just need a
rather
little more. We just need
let's
a little
take our
more.
time. Let's figure this out.
Especially if they're
Yeah,
two big ones.
I'm here for it,
I'm
bro.
telling you, I wouldn't be upset to see a 900-page third book. You know what I mean?
I'm here for
If
it.
it's
And he can
done
write
well.
big books, dude. The last book in that other series, the hard covers had to be split into 2 books.
Oh
So
wow,
they're good, man.
cool. Then
Yeah.
well,
So
it's wait and see.
it's a wait and see, but I did have a good time and I liked it.
Yeah, yeah.
Fair to say?
Once again, for me, this is also like, did I read the first book probably at the not the right time? Maybe. Did I read the second book maybe at not the right time? Right after I finished Sun Eater? Yeah, probably not the best time
Probably not the best time.
to compare.
I read the first book at a
but-
good time and I loved it.
Yeah, yeah.
I loved it. And I like the second book.
There's
you
more
know,
to complain about.
it's more world building for another book, and I shouldn't be complaining as much. I'm a prisoner of the moment, people. But you know what? You'll get here the unfettered truth and my honest opinions every time. And when I'm wrong, when this next book comes out in 2 years or a year and a half, and we
Opinions
review
change.
it, guess what? I will sit here and tell you how wrong I was, and I hope you tell me that I was wrong in the comments when you like, comment, and subscribe to this podcast, as we always so greatly appreciate. As you notice, we always interact with the comment section because we appreciate it so much. Because, you know, the
Because there's
truth
not that
is,
many to keep up with.
well, it's also, you know, the truth is, man, there aren't the most people, especially me, in my everyday life that I can talk to that have read these books or have played these games that we play or watch these movies. So, you know, I love finding people, and I don't want to say building a community because we're not there yet, but, you know, it's awesome to have people to have a dialogue with about what you're consuming, right? It's awesome. So I'm very appreciative of that for everybody that, you know, is so inclined to have a conversation with us.